Hey flower friends, welcome back to Flower Patch. Today we're gonna go and plant some bargain rack boxwoods I found at Lowe's in the front border. This is where I planted the daisy and black-eyed Susan seeds in that area, and I'm just gonna make a border with the boxwoods. I had the idea of doing that because when everything's gray and green and muddy around here, not gray and green, I'm sorry, brown and dull, and when winter snows are melting and nothing has greened up yet, just having that evergreen really brings everything up and makes me happy anyways. I love seeing it, and I think it would dress up that area, and I've wanted to do this for a while. I was going to do boxwood cuttings. Now I have an entire blog post on how I do boxwood cuttings. Do I have a video? I think I have a video too, and I'll link to it. But yeah, when I saw them on the bargain rack, and I thought, okay, I bought what they had. I think I bought 4 or 5. And then I had one already that I had just sitting here. I was waiting to put it in a spot. So instead of starting starts, I went ahead and bought some boxwoods. They're just in 1-gallon containers, but they have a head start and they'll fill in faster that way. So that's what I'm going to do today. And before I do that, I am way behind. Are you way behind? I'm way behind in things. I should have put these, this is an amaryllis, in the basement to go dormant a month ago. And it just hasn't been on my radar. Just the last 2 months, September and October, has been just amazingly over busy. So yeah, I'm just catching up. Also, my Christmas cactus or Thanksgiving cactus, this is a Thanksgiving cactus, I need to get put back indoors. I usually have them in my primrose cottage because it doesn't get to freezing in there, but it is cooler than in the house. My husband has a tendency to get our wood stove, the temperature inside like 80 degrees. They don't mind that, but when they're blooming, the blooms will last so much longer when it's cooler. So in the primrose cottage, it just brightens it up in there too, because I'll go out there in winter and just to see the blooms is just very uplifting for my spirit. So those are 2 things that are on my list to get done. I have a whole video, and I should do another one, I don't know, on overwintering sweet potato vine. Now this one's already in a container, so I could just set this. You see the size of container? This could just go on a windowsill. I get those long trays, they're clear trays, and they'll fit on the windowsill as a bottom. And then it protects the surface from moisture and what have you. And then I will have sweet potato vine for next year. Now I have the trick that I tell you of how when they get bigger in winter, which they will, I take cuttings through the winter. And if I get, I've had trouble with spider mites with these. This year I have a new systemic. It's made from rosemary and clove oils, and it seems to work fantastically. So I'm going to try that this winter and see if I can even keep the potted ones going, because usually they die on me. So that's why I always take cuttings throughout the winter. Okay, that's what other things I need to get done. But today we are going to focus on planting the boxwoods in the front border. I also got some pittosporums. I just thought I'd try them. They were like $7. So I thought, oh, I've never grown these before. We'll see how they do. We'll get going on that too. It's a test, trial. I'm not even sure where I'm going to put them. I have an idea, but you know how that goes. Okay, let's plant our boxwoods in the front border. I'll be sure and bring you back when I take these out, pot them up for blooming this winter. So, one chore down. So one thing I wanted to do, I was just going to dive in and plant these. And then I remembered how I need to soak them. This is the Organic Rev. It is a growth stimulant. And I wanted to be sure and do this with these because my rose that I revived and repotted just put on such tremendous growth when I used it. And it seemed to really help it through the whole process of transplanting, etc. So I want these to get off to their best start. So I'm going to soak them for at least half an hour before I go ahead and plant them in the ground. So I'm pouring in, I'm just going to say about 2 ounces. And then I'm going to put about 2 gallons of water into this tray and then pop the whole pots and everything in to the tray. Let me get my hose. Got this tray, put them in it. They can soak it up. I'll set my timer. And then we'll get to planting. I guess it was 4 I got. And then this was the one I had on hand. And it had rooted through the bottom into the soil it was in. Maybe I'll add a little bit more water. So there we go. Let them soak. Okay, before I start planting the boxwoods, I had to move a bunch of stuff. Got rid of this barrel here that was falling apart. Move some of the dirt. And now I'm going to set out where I'm going to place them, because I'm actually going to measure this so I have it at least parallel with the porch. I had to move those stepping stones because they were curving towards the porch, and they were right where I needed to plant some boxwoods. So these are Wintergem. They keep their color through the winter, nice and green, exactly what I want. And I'm assuming this one is too, but I don't remember for sure. So that's the one I had on hand, and I think I'm going to plant that one furthest that way, and then these will look all uniform because they're about the same size. So I'm going to go ahead and read. I know how I would plant them, but I'm going to read how it says. Let's see. Dig hole 2 times width of pot. Plant 1 inch above ground level. Build water basin. Mulch and water thoroughly. So that's a good idea. Water basin. But I have the drip through here, so this will be great because it's already set up with irrigation. So in the summer, I just turn it on. I would like to put it on a timer. But, okay, now I do have some pittosporums that I was thinking of putting right here on the edge and on each end, because I don't have enough to go all the way to the end. I have 4 new ones and then that big one there. But also in the past, I have had a rose, a climbing rose here. It was an aloha, and it went up and it went across the eave, and I really liked that. And I'm thinking of doing that again. I have a few ideas, but I don't have that particular rose at this time. So I'll put that on for future reference, but I'm going to leave room for it. So that's why I'm talking about it now. So here, this back here is a peony. I had thought of moving it, and I thought, well, they're doing so well. Fine, they've been doing good here. So I'll just leave them, and they'll be in amongst all the flowers. This is the front border that I sowed the daisy and rudbeckia seeds. And I am going to transplant some in here too from other areas. So I know those will take, even if the seeds don't come up. But there's no reason why the seeds wouldn't, because they freely reseed for me. So I'm going to get my measuring tape, and I'm going to measure and place the pots right where I want them. So, and leave room for the pittosporum. So I'm probably going to start right over here in front of this heuchera, or by this heuchera. All right, so okay, so I wanted to measure. That can be 4 feet, but I will measure 3 because I can keep it 1, 2, 3. So I'll go to the 4-foot mark, which is right here. And I'll put my first one right there. Now I can move this path. This is just an interim measure. So that is right at the 35-inch mark. I went up far enough forward that there's plenty of space back there, and I will keep these pruned back. So I'm going to put these on 36-inch centers. So that's right there. And then I'll go back 35. So that is right there. This one could go right here. So then I'll do this. 36. Oh, that one's right in this right spot. And get that leaf out of the way. And 35. And then 36. Right where I planted that. I had to stop it. My husband was out here talking with somebody. That's the bad part of having your husband shop on the property. Okay, so I'm going to do what it said, and I don't always dig it twice as wide. I know people say to do that all the time, but my soil is so loose and healthy, and these have also been soaked in organic rev, so they are going to put the roots out like crazy. My soil has been worked and is healthy, so it's not like they're going to have a tough time getting through, even when it's a little bit rocky like this is. So let me measure, see what kind of root system we got on here. Oh, that's great. Yeah, oh wow, perfect. So I'm just going to put it in here, plant it in there, firm it in, and call it good. So this heuchera can be cut back. It's doing so well, I'm not going to do it right now. This one will soon crowd it out. So I measured all of them 36 inches apart at center, 35 inches from my porch. So next one. As I said, I'm not too fussy with planting, as I have fabulous soil from years of regenerating it, composting it, etc. So, okay, that one is a little more circular growing. I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit. They had a nice long soak in the organic rev, which is a root stimulator, growth stimulator. And it does fantastic as far as helping plants get established and growing. Okay, I'm going to finish up putting these in, and then we'll come back and talk about things. So last but not least, I'm going to water them in. Now there's still some cleanup left to do, and I will get to that. Make sure my microphone's on. There's still a little bit of cleanup around here. I may just have all these stepping stones taken out, and I'll just put in a gravel or a mulch, nice mulch path. And I have room for one more boxwood. I was a little short, but I can start some from cuttings or dig one up from somewhere else. I'm just going to wrap what I put in. Looks like I need to maybe put it down a little deeper, but yeah, all this needs to be. So this is they're going to grow together. It'll take them a while because I did space them. Gave them plenty of room, which they do say to space them 36 inches apart on center, and that's what I did. You know, some people plant them closer together so they fill in easier or faster, but I wanted them to have their full room, and I haven't decided if I'm going to square them off or just make them round balls where they have just a bit of interest along here, and then in between them plant like an annual, like an alyssum in the summer, etc. It's all still kind of in the air what I want to do, and we'll just see how well they do here. I think they'll do great because they're supposed to do well in full sun, part shade, and that's what this gets, a little bit of both. just water my plants that I got the other day. So, in one of my front entrance garden tours, I will bring you along and show you once I get it all cleaned up. But I just wanted today to get it planted for you and show you how I did it and how easy it really is. Now, the seeds that I planted in here will do fine. Even though I disturbed the soil and whatever, there's so many of them, they'll still do fine. And as I said before, I have a few daisy plants and black-eyed Susan plants that I'm just going to dig up, probably divide, and put in here as well. So all of that should be gorgeous next season for sure, at least next summer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, as discombobulated as it was. You would not believe how many times I got interrupted. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and come on back next time for whatever I'm planting up. I still have the perennials that I got on clearance at the garden center, and I'm just going to have fun with those. I think I'm going to put them in the rose garden. So that's my plan for so far. Okay, see you next time. Bye.